galaxy on collision course with our Milky Way, discovered to have cannibalized neighbors. This is what Sputnik News reports. This is a picture of a galaxy and where we are by the ESA, European Space Agency. According to research recently published in Nature, the Andromeda galaxy has been discovered to have a violent past and quite an appetite, as it has devoured several smaller galaxies over the past few billion years. Astronomers predict that the Milky Way galaxy, this is our galaxy, might become another star dish on its menu in 4 to 5 billion years. Astronomers have discovered evidence that the Andromeda galaxy, located next to the Milky Way, already has several mass-eating events under its belt. A study co-led by Dr. Dougal McKay from Australian National University, published a recent edition of the journal Nature, has discovered that Andromeda first went on a galaxy-eating frenzy about 10 billion years ago as it was forming. 6 billion years later, another fatal feast occurred, along with a number of smaller events. The astronomers recreated Andromeda's ravenous past and theorized how it was formed as they studied its stellar halo. They discovered that this so-called globular cluster of stars, bound gravitationally, orbits at a right angle, which led them conclude that these structures came from different sides and at different times. Quote, "We know that galaxies like Andromeda and the Milky Way were embedded in this thing called the cosmic web. It's like the sponge-like structure of galaxies, and material around us and objects fall into our galaxy from this web. There's a big feed from one direction, then another feed from another direction," end quote. Professor Geraint Lewis from the University of Sydney, who also co-led the study, told ABC. The researchers are said to be enthusiastic about the discovery because it gave them an opportunity to have a look at the history of our Milky Way galaxy, which is similar to Andromeda. But the eating habits of the neighboring galaxy might be bad news for ours, which happens to be on a collision course with Andromeda and is destined to crash with Andromeda in about 4.5 to 5 billion years. As the researchers cited in the Australian broadcaster ABC pointed out, they are unsure which galaxy would be devoured by its neighbor. Mackie told the broadcaster, "What we know about Andromeda is that it's roughly the same size as our Milky Way galaxy, both in terms of distances and in terms of mass. The Milky Way is a spiral system. You may see pictures of that type of a galaxy that's flat like a dinner plate with spiral arms, and Andromeda is a very similar system in that sense. The theory is that this collision would be a fair fight, means a loss for both spiral galaxies, according to Lewis, as the mutual gravitational pulls of the similarly sized Milky Way and Andromeda galaxies are going to tear them apart and create a new single, much larger, featureless galaxy. The scenario for the Sun, and respectively our Earth, might also be grim, of course, although the astronomers suggest that one unlikely but remotely possible outcome is that our star might be thrown away out of the newly created galaxy. Mackie says it's possible that the Sun could be thrown out of the merged Andromeda and Milky Way system by the collision into intergalactic space, and or a nearby close passage with another star could perturb the Earth's orbit such that the Earth can no longer support life. While this mayhem is said to be billions of light years away from us, the discovery that Andromeda has 2 well-defined orbits contradicts our existing understanding of gravity as one of the 4 natural forces. It has 2 well-defined orbits. Some astronomers are saying we've actually got gravity wrong. Rather than this being an indication that we understand what's going on with galaxy evolution, it may tell us more about the distribution of dark matter, but the presence of ordered motion does sort of worry some people that we have gotten something wrong somewhere, as Lewis explains. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.